Vamos a ver con cuántos errores salió. Aunque revisé esta cosa como 3 veces al final. Pero estoy seguro que voy a notar errores. Pero... Ok, ahí va. World Premiere.
Lies, Koitozo. I've been reading that manga since 2015 and the core plot is as simple as it gets. It's a love triangle and a well-established one at that, and I fell in love with it and with the two love rival designs from the start. Core aspects and the character development. This became one of my top manga to keep track of, and I used to read it religiously until a terrible info came.
Pam, pam, pam.
Hello.
Ahí me faltó ponerle una sombra.
Rant for love and lies. Let's talk about the main aspects of the plot. You got your usual main protagonist, average and always possible, with a crush for one of his fellow
Normal
students,
Kun.
Nagasaki Misaki. Which, goddamn, in the manga she looks amazing. Not only does she
Solo me imagino a Sebas viendo sus líneas de edición imaginarias mientras ve esto.
so much in the beginning that is like, oh my.
Ese shake se me hizo bien chistoso.
How perfect she appears to be on the protagonist.
Habla como youtuber de Genshin favorito. Sí, habla muy similar a Nino.
From there we go back to the present, in which the man tries to gather all of his willpower to finally
Siento que debí de meter más escenas del anime, pero me dio flojera. Ahí... A ver. Vamos a regresar. Aquí quería meter de que una van de esas de dulce gratis. porque se me hizo bien chistoso que el tipo la invitó al parque en la noche. No sé. Pero bueno. No sé, se me hizo medio creepy de su parte. The lore.
The peeps in Japan are basically having a known population problem, but in a more problematic scale. So someone in the Japanese
Así es, Shinzo Abe ya no te está pidiendo que tengas sexo.
Can give you a government notice from what is called the Red Threads of Fate, in which the government, by some advanced technologies and codes and maths and all that good stuff, is able to calculate the perfect partner for you.
Esta imagen se veía más graciosa en mi mente.
To be separated in the future, so they can have kids and get Japan back to the green light of the population department. After all this, you might say that seems great, perfect partner without me having to
Mystery box waifu.
Oh yeah, on paper, and accepting the fantasy of actually being able to properly pair you.
Que el gobierno te dé tu waifu de misterio.
Teeny tiny, teensy tiny problem. What if you already have someone you
Ahí quería cambiar la cara. Se me olvidó cambiar la cara.
Most probably you will cancel the government
O sea, aquí
notice,
tengo que mis notas en un post-it. Animación de pool de Genshin si sale una waifu random.
But we never have like a solid idea of what it could be. So basically, you have to have made a decision before you do this submission, either by you or your family. And yes, your family can sub you into the party.
Me encanta que encontré esta imagen de los padrinos mágicos. Es perfecta. Que sí, tus padres pueden firmarte. Timmy, te conseguimos tu novia del gobierno.
System, and that sucks. And with that explained, let's go back to the manga. In the story, we're presented that our dude is about to hit 16 years of age.
Ojalá Nino fuera como Sebas, que le hiciera sus reseñas en español, inglés, y entonces decía, no, porque luego yo las tengo que editar todas.
So he finally gathers the courage, asks her to meet him at the park, and there we go to see him waiting. And waiting, and waiting, until... Oh wait, she got here. Oh, what's this? He actually said it.
Te amo.
Oh my god, she said he loves him back.
Le hubiera puesto la voz de Patricio. I love you.
Let's go. Roll the credits. Well,
eso le hubiera hecho un espido.
He gets a message on his phone. It seems his nose
Ese es tiempo extra que no puede pagar.
She's not gonna be her government partner. Some dudes from the government get
Sube esto a YouTube como Seba Reacts.
I don't know why. And tell him about the thing while Misaki starts to go
no sé, eso sería como que contenido random.
And like, what? Let's move forward. He gets his notice, the name of
Linina Sanada, ¿quién es esa? Esa no es Takasaki.
Sneak peek of the girl by the manga, and off we go. By this point, I was like, the first girl was really powerful, really strong. First impression.
¡Es tan fuerte!
It's impossible for your girl to compare it, if at all. Like, how could you come at this? Or this. Or this. Like, how the hell you're commenting this and this?
This and this.
You get me.
Quería
She's
meter más
incredible.
imágenes, pero me dio
You're
flojera ahí.
presented to her and... Oh my god, she's cute. Really cute. So points there, and the more the story continues, you start to see something. There is synergy with the MC. The two of them go really well together.
Entonces dice reacción a video Nino editado por Seba.
It's a good couple. You don't need some romance manga expert glasses to see that.
Luego pongo la VTuber.
Later on the story, but well, not too far, we can see that Takasaki is not out of the fight because of the government notice of the MC. She still loves him, and let me tell you, very strongly. And there we have laid down the foundations of love and light.
Estamos viendo la reseña de Nino que yo edité.
This character development starts by Lilina. Let's go back to the first encounter. At the beginning, Nejima doesn't want any of this shit.
Esa fue la única cara de Fuchi que encontré de Nejima.
Actually loves him back. So he's trying his best to understand what's happening on Misaki's mind after that whole shenanigan, given that she said that she loved him but cannot go out with him. For reasons known. On the other side of the field,
ahorita estamos tomando un descanso de Gensho para ver la reseña.
Wait, she's actually trying to help them. And yet, she tries. Good girl, Lilina. God, can you believe that after all this helping, she's actually gonna be an equal?
El problema del footage del anime es que yo lo tenía que capturar.
Help those get back together, in which she also notices that Misaki does not want to do something serious for no apparent reason. So there we go. Part of the initial plotting goes around trying to understand the mixed feelings of Misaki.
No entiendo, Misaki. ¿Por qué no puedes?
We already know, and oh boy, we know that she loves him almost, if not as much as Nejima loves her. So we go on
Misaki tiene
finding
problemas.
bits and pieces of the reason, from which you'll have to find out yourself, and leaving bits and pieces of the critical info out of the explanation, mostly because if you ever find the time to actually read this, still an amazing story with the way they give info about the characters. Excluding some stuff, of course, as I'm gonna talk about it. The info has destroyed my enjoyment of it. Yeah.
Esta imagen es de Ishizoku Reviewers.
So I'll be saying stuff, but not all the stuff. So if you decide you still want to read it up, you don't know exactly everything. Anyway, back on point.
Los reseñadores intraespecies.
Someone who loves the MC, has her reasons and strong ones at that, and loves him, and she wants to be a couple with him, but can't. Why though? We don't know. That plot lingers with us for a
Lo chistoso es que nunca supe por qué Misaki no podía estar con Nejima. No llegué a esa parte.
And that she wants to help Nejima couple up with Misaki. But as they go on their investigation arc,
pero esas imágenes tienen bugs no proporcionales entre sí y algunas veces tienen buga y otras veces no.
Well, no. It's because she starts to find out how good Nejima. I mean that he is the MC.
El Nejima con drip. Esa es la imagen de Goku con drip. Pueden ver que ahí está que el cuello de Goku todavía.
Well, no. It's because she starts to find out how good of a guy he is. And all that jazz, you know. She starts to think, well, shit, who would have guessed we actually go well together? Which brings us to the first points of the strong debate on this manga, and one that I actually like a lot. At this point in the story, all we know about the government system is one thing and one thing only. It works.
Funciona.
There's no reason to believe that it can make bad matchups. And no characters in the
de hecho, esa imagen de King Crimson debería ser zoom in, pero por alguna razón no se hacía zoom in.
In fact, they all ended up falling more deeply in love with them.
Casi escupo al ver el pedacito del cuello Goku. Nuestro modelo es sinergia.
It works and it should be taken like that. So as I've said before, the first point of debate. You love someone you love already, and she loves you too.
Aquí quería hacer de que ambas rutas felices, pero me dio tanta flojera editar la imagen.
Me personally,
si necesitamos tener el Keanu triste.
I was on the side of the government notice. Best case scenario, if the one you loved was your perfect match, that's cool. If not, that meant there was some
maldito Nino liberal.
Were gonna be broken. That is something we gotta take into consideration too. But it doesn't take away from the fact that at the end,
dejando que el gobierno piense por él.
The system is perfect. The more the story progresses, the more we find that click with Lilina, to a point it just straight up, for some people, overshadows Misaki. And also a lot of people agree.
Pero el sistema funciona. No, Nino, no funciona.
Lilina should be the choice. And she appears to love him more little by little.
No funciona porque tenemos al Chad Yajima.
Pretty focused idea that yeah, they both think true love should win, and the fact that Nejima and Misaki love each other Naturally, just
Lo hubiera cambiado, lo hubiera editado y decir, let's fuck.
Pages in which both characters start to have conflict.
What is love?
True love. Is true love the first one you fell in love with? Is true love the first one you have extremely strong feelings?
Siento que rehusé demasiado esa imagen.
Is true love feeling comfortable with one another? What is true love? Nejima and Lilina experiment those during the story very strongly on the last chapters of those different.
No me acuerdo si ya se pasó la parte donde pongo que el panel más feo del manga.
Concept of true love, which all goes back to the point of the
Si hubieras usado scans en croata.
Is this true love? If not, then what is it? What is Misaki again to Nejima? What is Lilina again to Nejima? Who do they actually love? If you just wanna be all serious about the subject that's in, well, he's still young.
Estaba harto en esta parte y dije, fuck it, voy a poner esta imagen de Megatron.
You're not wrong, but you're missing the point of reading this shit. Come on. It's a drama and romance story. Why are you even here if you just want a realistic love story?
Suscríbanse.
This is what I fucking live for.
Esta es la mona gorda de Vampire Dies in No Time.
Sometimes in the darkest of blacks.
Espera. Esta... ¿Por qué esta tiene sentido que te recuerda a Jim Sterling?
Anime style romance is great. It's a fantasy that is colored sometimes in the darkest of
Sí, aquí también estaba enojado. De hecho, Shaka estaba en el stream cuando estaba editando esto, porque no sé si se dieron cuenta, pero yo estaba streameando en Discord cuando me ponía a editar el video de Nino. Puse esta imagen porque esta línea que... estas líneas que está a punto de decir Nino me dieron tanto cringe, mi hermano.
Anime style romance is great. It's a fantasy that is colored sometimes in the darkest of blacks and the cutest of pastels.
The darkest of blacks and the cutest of pastels. Y pues obviamente voy a poner Yumeiro Patissier porque es... Yumeiro Patissier. Nino, deberías de hacer una reseña de Yumeiro Patissier. Es tan estúpido. Yumeiro Patissier es un shoyo, creo. Nada más la ando viendo porque está en High Dive y me puse a ver esto y estaba de que, wow, esta cosa es tan estúpida y tan basura, me encanta. Hay shoyo basura que en algún punto hablaré de ello. Mucha caca en el basurero. Así es, este es del anime shoujo que salió esta temporada que ando viendo que también es tan estúpido. Ya no me acuerdo cómo se llamaba, la cosa de las hadas. Porque andaba hablando de que un romance fantástico y realístico. Y era ese, pues está el anime este de la mona que se enamora del hada.
Look, I don't see much sports these days, but fuck with my
Nejima Soccer, este es el fútbol favorito de Nino.
The excitement can be insane. Or if you play video games, like fighting games, when you win an important match or a tournament, the nerves, the storm.
Aquí metí la gamera perdiendo. Vi a mis pumas a que no traigan tanto.
You can have strong emotions with different forms of media. This one's for me. And this is one of them.
Siento que debe meter otra imagen ahí.
What am I experiencing?
Está bien así, después de ese match destruyó todo Evo y ganó desde losers.
And because of that, when the characters in Love and Lies asked it to themselves, at that point reading I was, there is something in this manga. This is really good. And then this happens. Who's this guy, you say?
El chat ya, esa es la mejor parte del manga. Nada más lean esta parte del manga y ya, olvídense de lo demás.
Becoming a couple by different weird ways. Anyway, at some points, Yajima and Nejima get into a one-on-one talk in which Yajima feels the need to...
Yajima es la mejor parte. Es lo único que deberían de leer de Love and Lies.
And we get a lot of fan service about it. A lot.
Aquí Nino me dijo que no metiera el fanservice, pero lo metí nada más porque quería hacer ese close-up.
There was a point in which during their time as a couple,
O sea, esa imagen ahí tenía escrito de que no tienes que mostrar el fanservice. Lo puse como quiera porque siento que lo necesitaba.
If he marries her, Yajima was not prepared nor had really an idea. He didn't even know how long this relationship would last, and we didn't have an established story that tells us that they were a really solid couple. Ichijo leaves.
Eso es para director de escenas en el siguiente Tarantino.
We are later taken to the point Ichijo is casually talking.
No, si yo dirigiera las películas de Tarantino, estaría ahí hablando con Tarantino, viendo de que la edición final y Tarantino va a estar que ¿qué le pasó a los pies, Sebas? Los quité.
Something wasn't clicking with her. And there we get it. There we get it. For the first time in the story, we get confirmation that
Por fin descubrimos que el gobierno no funciona.
We still don't know exactly from Ichijo though. Later in the story, we get a hint that she still hasn't gotten over him completely.
Aquí había metido un montón de cosas antes y luego me di cuenta que no, que se veía raro, entonces extendí esa escena. Pero Sebas, la película se llama Foods.
That's a story for another day, to be honest. Alas, TLDR of this, we receive over the story lots of arguments in favor of each of the girls, to an equal standing.
Este es el panel más feo de todo el manga. Aquí por alguna razón dibujaron a las monas todas mal. Oh, Dios. Me acuerdo que estaba Mobs cuando puse esta parte. Nos andamos burlando de esta imagen.
And I used to read this series as soon as a new chapter.
El mangaka ya estaba cansado.
I was hooked on knowing the new power arguments for the girls. Chapters were normally short, and the plot advanced in a slow way. For most romance
Anatomy Master.
This without good plot
Lo hizo una
would be the
inteligencia
death
artificial.
sentence of it. But on Love and Lies, it was build up.
Ahí quería poner una lista de mangas shoyos que han muerto, pero no conozco suficientes mangas shoyos. La inteligencia artificial hubiera salido mejor el ending.
And three choices being because you choose one girl or the other. And one thing is clear about this manga specifically. Both girls cannot win. As we keep reading chapter by chapter, there's a looming shadow on the characters. The proper marriage preparations for both Nejima and Lilina. As the story goes, you could understand.
Sebas, ¿por qué Eli se cae del teléfono? No sabía, yo nada más andaba buscando de que fotos de... Yo nada más busqué que protagonista que gana a todas. Y pues me salió Eli se cae del teléfono. Creo. No sé, no lo he visto. Ahí quería meter una escena de Blue Lock, pero siento que no quedaba. Blue Lock no es muy shoujo que digamos.
By this point, I was lost in thought to who I would personally want to win. Both girls were
Sí que nada más puse la pieza de rompecabezas girando.
As to what they wanted and what they had already. But after reading more chapters, and I could see the end.
Creo que cambió demasiado rápido la escena.
I wanted Misaki to win. If you would ask me why, by this point, with all being said about each character, I don't exactly
Quiero que Misaki gane, pero no sé por qué.
And I was shocked by her internal struggles with her feelings. I, of course, won't tell you the reason Misaki was not trying to be a couple with Nejima in the first hand.
Maldito Nino, nunca voy a saber por qué Misaki no pudo.
An understandable reason, but not enough to get her out of the match though. Misaki's struggle and the way she tried to get Nejima and herself into account made me adore her as a character. Because both characters knew that the decision on one way or another was gonna affect them. Both Misaki and Nejima. Heavily. Don't get me wrong, Lilina, she was also incredible. The development of her trying to get Misaki and Nejima together, to a point she also started to have feelings for him.
Lilina es chistosa.
To understand if she should still try to help him, or to stay with him and accept her own feelings. That was incredible. Both characters were on a
Casi termino el guión del otro y por Dios, debo bajar el shitpost.
My mind each week imagining the possibilities of how one
Pero es demasiado shitposteable.
O
sea, Nino, ¿viste las notas que te puse en tu script de esta cosa?
Good choices. And then the mangaka there was gonna be an ending for each girl. That broke me. The whole hype, the stress, the emotions,
Tengo que
the
poner
drama
el
was
for,
totally
el for coma,
gone.
for gaijin coma.
I was left feeling nothing. Because that just means everyone
Todos
wins.
ganan.
You like one of the girls, just read her out. And that was not the point of the story. Believe me, I know there's some stories that can have multiple routes. We've had those already.
Higurashi es basura. Higurashi es basura. Y no me importa que me digan lo opuesto. De nuevo te equivocaste, pues qué mal, ahora vamos a poner a Servichan. Yo ni siquiera sabía que Clana tenía múltiples rutas. No, Higurashi no es lo máximo. Higurashi es basura. Higurashi es ass. Tenía un amigo que me vendía Higurashi como la mejor cosa del mundo y luego ya por fin me puse a leer Higurashi y estaba que the fuck is this shit? This is bullshit. Pitupeando. Activando Servichan, muy bien. Modo reseña. No sé qué es eso. No sé. No me acuerdo. Nino me dio una lista de mangas. Pero bueno, continuando. Higurashi es basura.
But this was not the one that could do that. These are just empty wins. Because the author was basically saying,
Yeah, elija las dos.
Or couldn't find an argument that will make a character win. I'm not saying the mangaka had to go look for one in the manga he wrote. He could have made one up.
Tenía que meter un Genies ahí.
But that was not even made. The decision the fact that Nejima had to choose and the girl had to lose, that was the beauty of reading the manga. Trying to brace myself to know if Misaki was gonna win or lose was one of the reasons I enjoyed reading.
Higurashi, la visual novel es Picard. No.
And you might say, well, in each route the other
Fuck
one
Higurashi.
loses, right? So you can still see that aspect of how they deal with it. Well, no. They kind of just disappear from each other's route at that point.
Adiós, Nejima. Era un personaje de fondo feo.
The whole struggle they went through was for nothing. And that sucks. Sometimes not everyone has to win. Sometimes
What am I fighting for?
The beauty of the manga was that not everyone has to win.
Esta es la ruta perfecta de Melty Blood.
Sometimes there has to be a true route. The beauty of the manga was that there was a decision to be made at some point, and all characters had to be ready for it. On how they will prepare for it, how they will struggle with it, fight it, understand it, and accept it. But with these endings, then what was the point? Look, this is not a bad story by any means. If you really can take the fact that there is a route for each one of the girls after the fact that the whole story is based around the stress of the decision, I can still recommend it. The characters are worth it. The development is great. The side characters can be really interesting and you can get really invested. But the end is gonna be sour. Really sour. At least it was for me. You know, I appreciate
El mundo es cruel y eres feo.
But sometimes you have to make a decision.
Son los mangas que se juntan en la tarde para copiarse la
This
tarea.
manga had just one ending. It would have been one of the best drama romance manga I've read in quite a while. But for now, I can only hope that if there ever comes a manga of this type to have a build-up mechanic, that they actually
La mecánica de build-up. Ahí creo que fue un error de Nino, no sé.
Thank you for listening yet again to one of my little talks on romance stories. Tell me if you've seen Love and Lies. Did you love that there was an ending for each girl? Who are you rooting for? And if not, what do you think of manga with multiple endings? Do you like it? Do you hate it? As you can see, I'm conflicted about it, but I can accept it in some stories. It's not at all bad. Well, if you like this content, remember to hit that subscribe button. We're just starting out, and so I hope to bring a little more talks in the future. Next one, I'm gonna be talking a bit about a tiny anime and manga that is quite a little popular.
Es Kaguya-sama.
See you in the next one, peeps. Lights out.
Oh no, mis recomendaciones. Vamos a escuchar a MOP. Ah no, luego me ponen copyright strike. A ver, no tiene comentarios. Voy a poner ¿Qué escribió esta cosa? One of my favorite mangas to read, the sudden change of making multiple ending story made me question the reason. Understand the concept of love. Ahora ponemos de comentario a Nino. This manga is terrible except for the Yajima part. They should make a Yajima spin-off where he fights the government and aliens. Ahí está, perfecto. La gente va a ver los comentarios y va a decir, the fuck es eso, vamos a darle like también. Perdió en el character select. 100% se va a hacer ese comentario. Pásale un link, a ver aquí, share, copiar. Ahí está, denle like, comenten y suscríbanse. Y vean el video otra vez. Sin mis comentarios. Eso estuvo chistoso.